Is week 4 of If I Were on the Bake Off. This week is dessert week and they made pavlovas for their signature. So today we are making a mango and passion fruit pavlova. Chigs did a mango and passion fruit pavlova which looked absolutely amazing, but mine is going to be a little bit different to his. I just got a bit worried because I thought mine's going to look a bit subpar, but it tastes amazing, so I guess that's what matters the most. I'm going to try and make mine look as good as I can, but it is what it is, I guess. So I think without further ado, let's get stuck in with the recipe. So mango and passion fruit pavlova. We're going to start off by preparing our tray for the pavlova. I've got a baking tray and I cut off enough baking paper to line the baking tray with. I'm going to make a template because I'm going to do my pavlova round and I'm using the base of a cake tin. So I'm going to draw around the base of a cake tin onto my baking paper, and I'm using a pencil. Push really hard with the pencil so you can actually see the template through the other side, because we're going to obviously flip the baking paper over. The last thing we want to do is taste pencil on our pavlova. There might be some people out there that do enjoy eating pencil lead, but don't do it, it's not good. Now that I've got my baking paper circle, I'm going to turn my paper around and just put it onto my baking tray, okay? And I should be able to still see the outline of my circle. Okay, I can see it better than you probably can. And then that will help me when I'm going to shape my pavlova on here later when it is ready. Step 2 is to preheat our oven. Okay, we're going to turn our oven on a very low temperature. The pavlova needs to bake gradually on a low temperature to avoid it cracking and to avoid the meringue from sinking and shrinking. So we're going to preheat our oven. 130 fan, 150 if you don't have a fan assisted oven, and that is gas mark 2. Okay, so very low oven. So oven switched on. Now time to move on to the next part. So let's weigh out our sugar. Okay, so I've got a scale here, a small bowl. Put your scale on. We're going to weigh out our caster sugar. You can use regular granulated sugar as well, but it's just that caster sugar dissolves a lot better into the meringue, so it's better to use caster sugar. So 250 grams of caster sugar. So just weigh it into your bowl. Going to put that to the side. We're going to move on to separating our eggs now. Using 4 eggs in this recipe, so I've got a large bowl to put my egg whites in and a small bowl to put my egg yolks in. So it's very important to try not to get any egg yolk into your egg white bowl, because that will prevent your meringue from whipping up into a nice airy texture. Also, you want to make sure there's no grease. So what you want to do is clean it either with some lemon juice or some vinegar, just to cut through any of the grease that might be left in your bowl, and that will help your meringue whip up a lot better. Let's crack our eggs. Whites in the large bowl, yolks in the small one. There we go, that's 1 egg white. We need 4 of these. Some of you might be wondering, well, what do I do with all these leftover egg yolks? Well, you can always use them either to make custard or some curd, or you can just eat them. What I tend to do is just crack a whole egg in there, a little bit of milk, whisk it up and just eat it like a scrambled egg for lunch. I've got a new hand mixer, so I won't be using one anymore. Good on me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to whisk it up with the hand mixer on a low speed until it becomes like a soft peak stage, and then we're going to slowly add in our caster sugar. So the caster sugar that we weighed out, we're going to add in a little bit at a time, roughly about a tablespoon at a time, into the meringue after it's reached a soft peak, so that we don't lose any of that air, okay? Because it's important to keep as much air as possible in the meringue for the pavlova, okay? I'm going to start by whisking on a low speed, okay? Bismillah. Oh, come on. I didn't switch it on. I always do this. There we go. Kind of at a soft peak stage now, can you see? Where it's just started to hold its shape. So now we're going to slowly continue whisking, but slowly add in our sugar until we've added all in. So a tablespoon of sugar at a time. Last bit of sugar. Just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl, and then I'm going to give it one last whisk just to ensure that everything is everything is incorporated well. And we've got those bits of sugar that might be stuck to the bowl. We've incorporated all of those as well. Okay, that's it, we're done. The meringue is nice and thick and glossy. So once your meringue has reached stiff peaks and you've added in all your sugar, it's time to add our cornflour and our white wine vinegar and some flavouring as well. A teaspoon of cornflour, put that in. This will help stabilise your meringue. A teaspoon of white wine vinegar. I'm going to flavour my meringue with some vanilla, so vanilla bean paste. This stuff is absolutely, just a teaspoon of that as well. And then we just mix those in with the mixer as well until they're combined, and that will be our meringue ready. So our meringue is looking absolutely lovely. So now we're ready to put that onto our template that we made earlier. I'm going to do the outline of the meringue. So let's put some in the center of our template. We use an offset spatula to spread that out to where the template is. Nice and round. To make the pavlova look a little bit pretty, I'm going to separate some of the meringue into a separate bowl. Okay, scoop. And then I am going to dye it yellow. I've got some powdered yellow food colouring here, which I'm going to add a little bit of the powdered yellow food colouring to the meringue. Okay, so that's dyed some of our meringue yellow. I've got my normal meringue and I've got my yellow meringue, and I'm going to use a piping bag, and I used a 1M tip. I'm going to put the 1M tip in the piping bag. Inside, you're going to put your white meringue in to your piping bag. Okay, on the other side we're going to add our yellow meringue. So yellow meringue goes in the top. And the yellow just, it kind of represents our mango flavour. Move it into the end of your piping bag, give it a twist. Ready to pipe our shapes around now. So we're going to do rosettes, okay? So we'll start at the top. And we'll do rosettes on the side as well. Okay, if you've got any gaps, then you want to just fill those in with any remaining meringue. One more final crown of rosettes so that you've got a crown, so that your filling will sit in the middle where there's this gap here. So that's how our pavlova looks, and it's nice and pretty, nice and two-toned. That is now ready for the oven. We're going to bake that for 1 hour now, and make sure you don't open the oven while it's in the oven. Bake it for 1 hour, then turn your oven off after an hour and let it cool in there for as long as possible. So ideally a couple of hours. So let's put that in. Our pavlova, the main part of our dish, is in the oven, and then you can mix it up. You can do whatever flavors you want. I'm doing mango and passion fruit today, so we're going to start off by chopping up our mango for the filling. Let's take the sticker off first, shall we? I don't like sticker flavor things. What tastes really nice on these is the, you know, the Pakistani mangoes. They taste really nice, but obviously they're not in season anymore, so I couldn't get one. They taste really, really nice on a pavlova. You can also buy the tinned version of them in like Asian supermarkets. They sell the tinned Pakistani mangoes, the bean syrup, so you can use those instead as well. I just bought a fresh mango because I wanted a little bit of tartness, because these are a little bit tart when they're not fully ripe, and I like that, so we're going to use that. So I'm going to peel the mango first of all with a peeler, and then you want to cut as close to the seed as possible. So wherever you feel the seed, just kind of edge your knife away from the seed, and that way you'll get as much fruit as possible as you can. And then you've got your mango pieces, which you're going to cut into cubes, okay? It's up to you what size you cut. I think small cubes taste nice on there because you get a little bit everywhere. So I'm just going to dice up my mango into small cubes. So I've got my mango chunks, which is one mango is more than enough. I'm going to put that in a bowl. Let's move on to the chantilly cream. So to make the chantilly cream, we're going to use cream. So we're going to use about 400 to 500 mils. It's up to you. I think the more cream you have on it, the better it is. It tastes nice with a whole bunch of cream. So I'm going to use about 450 mils. So you need about 40 grams of icing sugar, and it totally depends on you and how sweet you like your cream to be. I don't like mine overly sweet, so I think about 40 grams is enough in this amount. A teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste. I really like vanilla bean paste, tastes really nice. Okay, you want to whisk it until it just starts holding its shape, because if you over whip the cream, then it kind of splits and turns into butter. So you want to whip it just until it begins to hold its shape, and that way you can spread it onto your meringue really easily. And that's it. When you see that it started to hold its shape, that's as much as you want to whip it up, okay? You can cover the bowl up and put it in your fridge. Let it sit in the fridge until you're ready to use it. If it has lost any air, you can just re-whip it again slightly and then use it. Okay, so once your pavlova has completely cooled down and it's ready, it should look something like this. So you can see the yellow and the white. The lighting isn't that great now. It's coming to late in the evening, so I apologize for that. But hopefully in the pictures you'll be able to tell what it looks like better. So the cream that we whipped earlier and the fruit that we prepared earlier should be with you. So I'm going to use a piping bag again. You don't have to. You can just dollop the cream straight in that center well that we made, and that will hold in there. With a 1M tip again, I'm going to put that into my piping bag, and then put the cream into my piping bag as well. So it has lost a little bit of air, so I'm going to re-whip it a little bit first. Cream has lost a little bit of volume because it was in the fridge for a while, so I'm just going to use a hand whisk and just whip it back until it's nice and stiff again. So this can happen if you leave your cream for a while. Absolutely normal. So you just have to re-whip it again until it goes stiff. Cream can go into our piping bag. Now cream in. So I'm just going to start by just doing a layer of cream in the bottom, all the way around. I'm going to be really generous with the amount of cream that you put on here. Okay, got even layers there. The mangoes that we cut up earlier, just add those on. Mango cubes, scatter them over the top generously. And then I'm just going to do like a rope border now, and then down. Pipe a dollop, bring it down. Pipe, bring it down. Do that all the way around. Okay, just like so. I'm going to add a few mango pieces on the edges. Cut your passion fruit in half. Just scoop all that goodness onto your pavlova. Scatter it around. Use all 3 of your passion fruits and be generous with it. A mango and passion fruit pavlova. Take some good pictures of it and you can have a good look at it with the pictures. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Bye.